Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. So, figured do a little live stream, try to find some bets. So, we'll kind of go through everything. It's past 4:14. Don't know what that means, but let's go ahead. Let's get into it. So, let me share my screen and we can kind of go through, see what values out there. So, we got a lot of MLB tonight. We obviously have the NBA finals tomorrow, which I'm sure everyone is super excited about. And then we also have some WNBA tonight. So WNBA, I've explained this before, but like if you pull up the NBA, if you compare the NBA to say the WNBA, is you're probably going to find a lot more opportunities in the WNBA, which I know sounds crazy, but the reason is, right, less people look at it, sports books spend less time on it. So oftentimes you can find some pretty big discrepancies, some pretty, sharp bets, some plays with an edge in the WNBA because again, obviously it's not as popular as the NBA, so sports books, they watch it less closely. But anyways, we'll go through some WNBA picks, look for some value. I've explained this before. Depending on where you're located, you may see different sports books, right? Different locations have different sports books. I'm currently in Virginia, so I'm going to be using Virginia sports books. But what's cool is like there are some sports books that are legal, in almost every location. So Fliff is a good example. You can see Fliff right here, right? They're available in like California, Texas, New York. They're available in a ton of locations. And what's cool about Fliff, aside from the fact that you can use it basically everywhere, is there's a lot of profitable bets on Fliff. So you can see a play right here. And again, we've explained this in other videos, but like the whole point of OddsJam is, if you think about the sports betting industry, a lot of BS, a lot of people with pictures of money bags as their profile picture selling picks. When like the truth is like it's all about the data, right? Like, any good poker player knows that, right? It's all about the strategy. It's all about the data. It's not like you walk into the poker table in a high stakes Vegas room and just say, yo, I'm going to shove, I'm going to go all in on the second hand, right? That's not how you make money. You don't make money trading by reading Wall Street bets, right? It's not how it works. I was a trader for 3 years. Like, it's not how you make money. It's all about the data. It's all about understanding how to read the market and understanding kind of like, how to use data to your advantage. So basically what's crazy about sports betting and makes it really easy to find value, or not easy, but more accessible than let's say, in the stock market or something like that, is every sports book wants to set lines independently. So for example, for Louis Varland, over under 17 and a half outs, all of these books have slightly different models, Caesars, DraftKings, MGM. These are billion-dollar companies, right? They've invested a lot of money in their ability to set lines, right? So you'll see they all have slightly different odds from one another. They're all slightly different, right? They're different companies. They take different bets. So they have slightly different lines. They have slightly different models. But like, long story short, it becomes pretty clear just looking at this play, like, yo, every sports book has Louis Varland's under. And you'll see I just locked it in on Fliff. You can get Fliff on your computer, a little web app. And I also explained this before. They give out these free coins. Fliff coins are useless. They don't do anything. They don't make you money. Coins are, fake money. But regardless, like when you bet with them, you kind of get like experience points. I've explained this before, but like experience points you can turn into real money, whatever. So Louis Varland under 17 and a half outs, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 sports books. Every other sports book has the under really heavily favored. Fliff is the only sports book with the over favored. And you'll notice too, like, BetMGM moved the line from minus 115 to minus 140. So I try to keep these live streams educational. Some of this may be repetitive or whatever. People have been on these live streams. But like baseball, especially pitching props, you'll see a lot of good pitching props. And the reason a lot of times is like lineups, right? Like sports books, or not sports books, official lineups for games come out kind of like, 12 p.m. to maybe like 5 p.m. Eastern time. I mean, there's a bigger range, but that affects, right, the opposing pitcher's player prop lines. Like, let's say this homie, Louis Varland, is facing a bunch of, horrible hitters who strike out a lot. Well, his strikeout line is going to move up. Maybe it moves from minus 120 to minus 150 or, something like that. So, like, lines are always moving, Just like the price of a stock, right? Good news comes out. Yo, company made a lot of money. Stock price goes up. It's reflected in the market. So the reason you don't look at historical data, because some people will be like, "Ooh, I got to research. Did he get 6 outs or 16 or 30 outs last game?" And it's like it doesn't matter, right? It's already baked into the market. It's all public information, so it's baked into the market. So unless you think you're smarter than the Bucks, who, no offense, have better models than you, better data than you, like, you follow the market. You have to use the market to your advantage. So this is the first play that I went with. Louis Varland under 17 and a half outs. Real clear value. Average line on the unders minus 137. And like we have a bunch of videos like, ooh, how do you figure out what no vig odds are, right? How do you figure out the profit margin of your bet? We have a bunch of like full length tutorial videos, but I kind of consider it like be rational, like, just like think about the bet in terms of the data, just like a lot of poker, right? Is like think about what you're going to do based on what the other person did and use that information to your advantage. What cards do you have? All that stuff. So which is why a lot of good sports bettors are also poker players. But you'll see here, it's like, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Like there's 6 other data points in the market, all telling us Varland's under should be heavily favored. So obviously that's a good play to go with when you're getting minus 110. No brainer. Yo, that's what I like to hear. What's up? I can't do parlay play in my state. There's no parlay play in Virginia. Virginia has a lot of cons. That's another con you can add to the list. But you can see we do have prize picks, and you can see like another thing to, mention is like, so you can see here, why are lines moving in this, for James Caprillion, right? You can see Caesars has ripped his lines lower. So again, because all these books, they all try to set lines independently, like they all have to move odds, right? But you can see Fliff is asleep at the wheel. They're clueless, right? They're still offering minus 130 when every other book, and it's probably based off lineup news, stuff like this. So you can follow Underdog MLB on Twitter if you want. Like I follow them. It's just kind of interesting to see sometimes, like, sometimes you'll see like, oh, like, in the NBA, this player starting as opposed to this player, and you see how it affects all the other player props. So we can lock in this homie so we can go to the Athletics game. And 7:05 p.m. And you just got to know how to navigate quickly, right? I've explained this before too, but like great bets, they're not going to last forever. Like you're kind of competing against the sports book. Did I already bet this first play? I think I may have. So you'll notice Fliff only gives you a max bet size of, so you can see it's telling me, oh, remaining risk limit allowed is $0. So I already bet this. So I'll just hit this as a straight bet, right? So we can go here to straight bet, and then we'll max it, and then we'll hit it. Pretty simple, right? Like nothing complicated. You don't need to like overthink it, right? It's just like so many people try to overthink things. It's like when you have pocket aces, it's pretty like clear playbook that you should probably not fold, right? Like, so like it's kind of the same thing in sports betting. When you have a bunch of access, like what's crazy about sports betting and the reason, a lot of people love it, just like me, is there's 2 main things, right? One is all these books set lines independently. So like if you're a data person, you literally have dozens of data points, oftentimes hundreds. Like in the WNBA, I guess not player assist, but if you look at like, money line, a lot of books post odds on like the WNBA, right? Over 100 sports books. So you have lots of data points like telling you where a line should be set. So the second reason people love sports betting, I like sports betting, is the money aspect, right? Like you have to remember in sports betting, your returns are daily. I've explained this in other videos, but it's really important. Is like if you could earn a 2% ROI, let's say just 2%, right, on your bets, like that may seem small, but if you could earn 2%, you're betting on games, you'll notice all the plays here are for today, right? So if you could have a 2% profit margin, right, that's 60% a month, assuming there's 30 days in a month. So like that's powerful, right? Things compound very quickly. Man, we got our boy Kevin Love. You can see Clark Schmidt. So a lot of times like lines start to move, lineups start to get released, sharp action starts to come in. Sometimes it's weather changes, whatever. And that's sometimes when we find the best bets. So again, like, as a sports bettor, you kind of want to be like, you want to be opportunistic. And the reason I say that is like, it's kind of like when you show up at the poker table. You don't know, you're going to get good cards, bad cards. Like you don't go in and say, yo, I'm shoving on the first hand. Um, at least you shouldn't. And it's kind of the same thing as a sports bettor. Like you don't know which sports book is going to have value, right? You don't know if it's going to be Fliff, no house advantage, whatever. So ideally, you want to have as many of these platforms as possible, which I've explained before. But like this kind of breaks down all the main platforms I discussed, like Underdog, Prize Picks. How many picks should you go with? Kind of stuff like that. Anyways, yo, that's awesome. So let's go ahead. We can keep going through. I mean, we can look into some Prize Picks, but it's like, again, it's fun. So we can see here we have under 6 runs in the Royals Marlins game. And the hardest part is just like, dissociating your gut from the bet, right? Because a lot of people like watch baseball and they think that means they're smarter than the sports books when it's like not how it works, right? Like you really have to understand the math, the strategy, stuff like this. So you can see Clark Schmidt, right? Boom. Sportsbooks have said, yo, buddy, your line is getting ripped lower, right? You are going under, right? So I can almost guarantee you this is because of lineup news. Nobody knows any baseball players aside from Shohei. So basically, like, who knows who this guy pitches for? It doesn't matter, right? This is a data problem, right? It's the reason, like, you think about, I was a trader for 3 years. I don't know that much about the companies trading stocks on, right? It's like not how it works. It's all about the data. It's all about the market, having an understanding of markets. So what we can do is we can lock in Clark Schmidt under 6.5 strikeouts. So his under is getting more favored. So he's probably facing guys who are less likely to strike out, right? If his under is getting more likely, and Fliff is asleep at the wheel, still offering minus 165. And again, you want to have as many books as possible. You never know which book is going to screw up on a given day, right? It's just like, a lot of, well, we'll keep it PC, but it's like, you never know what opportunities are going to be out there. So like, and we compare this in a parlay. So I explained this before, but like, a lot of people, they have all these things that make zero sense. Like if you just go through the math behind a parlay, how it works, and I have videos about this. You should watch them if you like betting on parlays. But the thing is this is a little bankroll builder parlay we can go with. Is if a play is positive EV, so if it's profitable, it's going to be profitable in a parlay, a round robin, or as a straight bet. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter at all. You can play it in any of them. So in like, again, I could sit and dwell on why, but we have strategy videos kind of explaining why. But it's a very nice feeling to just like take your gut out of sports betting, just follow the market, follow the data. All the profit this year, 3,000 plus bets, just following the data, right? And a lot of people ask, like, why don't you just place one bet a day? And it makes sense to a new sports bettor, right? Like, why don't you just place one bet a day? And it's a good question. But the reason is like, if you think about it, it's like being a poker player, right? Why don't you play one hand a day? Is if you have the edge, right? And if you know you're going to win long term, well, you want to place as many bets as possible to reduce variance. You don't just want to place, $1 million bet every single day or something like that. If you're a good sports bettor, it may be the funnest or the most enjoyable. Ooh, so we got Bam assists over 3.5. So who knows? Maybe lines are moving. It's interesting to see line movements too, and try to correlate them with like why is this line moving? But a lot of times you can't, right? So you can actually get a better price on Betway Virginia, which is a sports book that I used. Actually, Betway, again, all these books offer nice reward systems too. Like I've explained before, Betway actually got me free tickets to the Grammys as part of, I don't know. I don't even use them that often, but a lot of these books, they offer rewards points. So apparently Betway, I bet most of the money in Virginia, gave me free tickets to the Grammys, which was sick. Not actually sick. I don't really like music. But anyways, not that much. And especially the people who get awards. But you can see like we can lock it in. And it really is a volume game, right? It's like being a good poker player. Some of these bets will win. Some of these bets will lose. Some days we'll have bad days at the casino. Some days we'll have good days. If you're just following the data, looking for plays with an edge, like you're going to make money. So you can see there's some value on no house advantage. So we can take a look maybe at like, Prize Picks, WNBA, whatever. I just wanted, clear out Fliff a bit. And then we can kind of get into what do we want to go through. So we can go to the fantasy optimizer next, Underdog Fantasy. We can look at Underdog Prize Picks. So you can see there's some plays on underdog. So, like on underdog fantasy, for example, you want to go with 3-pick entries. And we have kind of videos explaining why, right? Like why are 3 picks? Because it doesn't make sense, right? Like I've been there when I first signed up for Prize Picks. It's like, how many picks is optimal? And if you're new to these platforms, it's not intuitive, right? But if you look at Prize Picks for a 3-pick entry, these are fixed payout platforms, right? Any 3 picks you select, you're always getting the same payout. So Prize Picks only gives you a 5x payout. They're cheap, right? They suck. So if you look at Underdog Fantasy and you check out any 3-pick entry, they give you a lot better of a payout, right? They give you a 6x payout. So all this stuff is important to understand, like if you want to make money on these platforms, right? Because it affects how many picks should you go with, all that type of stuff. And it's the same thing for jock market, parlay play, no house advantage. Like you have to know how many picks to go with if you want to make money. So what I can do is I can actually share this in here. So you can take a look at this too if you use any of these platforms, right? Because it's just good to know like how many picks should I go with on Sleeper or Thrive Fantasy, all that type of good stuff. So what we can do is we can go to the WNBA. So we've got 3 games tonight. Pretty cool. And, I can pull up some sports books too. So, Virginia has a lot of sports books. So when I'm at home, I tend to bet on sports books more. Obviously, they're not as popular. Like FanDuel doesn't seem like it's as popular as like Prize Picks. But like you can see there's good value on FanDuel. Again, too, it's just like different books run different promos, right? So FanDuel actually did a video earlier today about Dinger Tuesday, right? Pretty simple promo. They give you a 25. So you bet $25 on a player to hit a home run. So for example, we all know Ohtani, about the only baseball player I know, probably And if the Angels game has 4 home runs, FanDuel gives us a $20 bonus. So, some people won't bet this promo because they're like, could still lose money, right? The game could have 0 home runs and my home run bet could lose, which is true, right? But the thing is if you look up the stats, most MLB games, they average 2.5 home runs per game, which is $12.50 in bonus, right? You're getting $5 bonus for each home run hit. So what you could also do is you could hedge, right? So you can see here, for the Diamondbacks Nationals game, you just want to bet $25 on Stone Garrett to hit a home run. And if there's 4 home runs in the game, FanDuel gives you a $20 bonus. There's 0 home runs, you don't get a bonus, right, from FanDuel. But what you could do, and again, like you're gambling at the end of the day. So these people, like people who are like, oh, don't want to lose money ever. It's like, you got to, pick a different profession, right? Like pick a different thing, pick a different hobby. So you can see Stone Garrett, he's plus 520 to go yard on FanDuel. Bet 365 has him minus 550 to not go yard, right? So what you could do is just pull up a little hedge calculator. And what this calculator tells you is like, you can hedge on Bet 365 this amount of money, 130, whatever, you can round it a little. And basically, regardless of what happens, if he hits a home run, if he doesn't, you're just going to lose a buck 15. Right. And again, like there's 2.5 home runs on average per MLB game. So you're losing a buck 15, right, by hedging. But if there's 1 home run, you're getting $5 from FanDuel. Obviously a no-brainer. You lose $1 to get 5. And it's like 95% of MLB games or 90%, something like that. They have at least 1 home run. So it's crazy. It's literally crazy not to bet this promo. I rarely bet on FanDuel anymore, aside from this promo, Dinger Tuesday. I've gone through the math in other videos, but there's a lot of money you can make on, just this promo. It's super profitable, and they run it every single week. And again, you don't need to use OddsJam, right? Like you can literally, it's free to browse odds on this site. So what you can do is you can just like pull up MLB or college baseball or XFL. I mean, you can look at whatever sport you want, but this just shows you, player home run odds. You can go to each game. You can just kind of like search like, okay, where is FanDuel giving decent value? And like it's just kind of intuitive, right? Like again, like it's kind of like poker as you're learning the strategy. A lot of people think it's super complex. A lot of it's just pretty rational, right? It's like, yo, if FanDuel's giving you plus 330, you probably don't want to bet on Alex or Christian Walker to go yard because other sports books are giving you a better price. So, regardless of how much you think you know about baseball, it's clear FanDuel's ripping you off. Two people show up to buy your car. One guy offers you 10K, one guy offers you 4K. Who are you selling the car to, right? One guy's cheap. We don't like cheap people. We like when books are offering the best price. So like it's not that complicated. So for this promo, what I used to do, this promo's been running like 4 years. I get home from work, right? Games start at like 7 p.m. is literally just go through and be like, okay, here's where FanDuel is offering the best price. And you go through each game and you just do that, right? And you get a $5 bonus per home run hit in that game. So if you bet on this Alex Call homie, so here it looks decent, right? Like FanDuel's offering the best line on this guy at plus 750. The average line is plus 571. So plus 750 seems decent. So maybe you lock that in. Again, some games will have 0 homers, some games will have 4 or 5, whatever, but it averages out, right? And again, like when you're finding value, even though this promo is really profitable, you still want to find value, right? You want to maximize the profit margin. Just like if you have pocket aces, you don't want to walk away with $5. Ideally, you walk away with $500 or whatever. Like you want to maximize the value of this promo, and sportsbooks give you super profitable promos. So what we can do is we can get rid of FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars. We can focus on prize picks or whatever. So you can see lines are moving around in this Royals game. Who knows why? Again, you can look it up. A lot of times it's lineup based, but you can see every sports book is dropping odds like a hot pocket, and Fliv is still offering plus 200 in the Royals game. So this game starts in 50 minutes. So we'll go ahead and we'll lock it in. So we can go here and we can go to the Royals game. You just got to know how to navigate quick again, because Fliff tends to move a little slower, but some books like FanDuel, when you're positive EV betting on FanDuel, they move pretty quick. Right? They move pretty quick. So what else do we need to bet? James Caprillion under 4.5 strikeouts. So I forget if I already bet that, but we can go ahead and we can pull him up, and this makes like our, I'm not really sure, but we got a lot of bets on Fliff. I'm not sure if I already bet this. We'll see in a second. Nope, I didn't. And then again, a lot of times what I'll do, again, these coins are pretty useless. They just give you like experience points, which you can convert into a few bucks here and there, but whatever. I'll go ahead and I'll include that in my entry. And you can see there's some plays on NHA and stuff like that. So we can go ahead and we can switch over to the WNBA, look for some plays. Everyone's favorite sport. So we can start with, player assists. I kind of just like, I'm not obsessive about it, but like you don't know where the value is going to be, right? The positive EV tool is pretty simple, right? It's like straightforward. And by that, I mean, it compares where books are setting the line at the same level, right? So like here in the Royals Marlins game, it's saying, for the alternate line 6, right? Fliff is offering a lot of value relative to its peers. Right? Like every other book is pricing this around plus 170. You're getting plus 200. That's good enough to beat the VIG, beat the juice that sportsbooks charge and be a profitable bet. Right? So like, and again, like the way you can kind of think about this is, let me share my screen. Hot streak, it doesn't matter, right? So on hot streak, you can do 2 picks, 3 picks, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all explained, and it's same for sleeper, right? And the reason is for sleeper and hot streak is what you'll notice is lobby is what you'll notice is on sleeper, they like change your payout, right? Based on you selecting over versus under, right? 1.7x, 1.8x, whatever. I can zoom in a bit and maybe you can see it better, right? Like 1.7, 4, 1.8. So it like changes your payout. So you can use any amount of picks, right? And Odds Jam has sleeper. I haven't been able to find, I basically just use sleeper for the promos. They oftentimes have pretty good promos. So I want to look at sleeper picks. Do they have anything? So it doesn't look like they're running anything for game 3. Hopefully they decide to. That would be pretty nice of them. Oh, does Prize Picks have Taco Tuesday? It does. right? So we got 40 minutes. Boom. So we got to get some player props on prize picks going. So Ka Cooper. This actually works nicely because if you were on the live stream earlier, I think we took her under 17 and a half points. So now we're getting her over 14. So this is called the middle in sports betting. And again, we have a betting tool for middles, sportsbook middles. So like basically if, Ka Cooper, if she has 14, 15, 16, 17 points, we're going to win both bets. Or if she has 14 points, I guess we would tie on prize picks. That's called a middle, right? So like these Taco Tuesday, again, like promos are a really easy way to kind of like make your money sports betting. So unfortunately, this parlay play platform, again, you can kind of use this, see how many picks are optimal, the spreadsheet I shared previously. Unfortunately, parlay play is not legal here in Virginia. But regardless, I'm sure we can find some plays. So, essentially you just want to like look for discrepancies. Like you want to look for value. You want to follow the value, right? So like, we'll try to find some really good plays, but what do we kind of like? Like the bigger discrepancy, the better. So like here's a play. What do we like? So that was player rebounds. Maybe we start out with like player points. So again, WNBA, like if you compare it to NBA, there's a lot more discrepancies in the WNBA. So I've explained this before, not a platform I can use right now. I think this play was available on the first live stream. Is again like parlay play. They have Asia Wilson's line at 21, right? Like underdog and prize picks have her line lower at 20 and a half. All the sports books have her line at 20 and a half with the under favored. So take her under. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? Like all the other books are lower. And in fact, if you see this odds jam algo odds column, it's actually just a weighted average of the market. So by that, I mean, what are you? I don't want you. So if we go here and we go to like the NBA, essentially what this odds jam algo odds column is it's just like a market consensus. So you can see here, right? Like this is, the market consensus that the Nuggets are very slight favorites. And you can see this consensus line has barely budged. But long story short, for, Wilson, her line is 20 and a half everywhere else. Parlay Play has her line at 21. Like we have numerous data points. Betano actually has her sportsbook even lower at 19 and a half. So it's pretty clear getting her under is, decent value. So we can take a look and we can see if we can find anything really good. So this looks decent on underdog as well as parlay play. So again, we're just trying to use data like to make more informed betting decisions. And once you kind of understand, like you're not going to win every single bet. It's just not going to happen. Life gets a lot easier. It's really about finding an edge. It's just like you could have pocket aces, you could go all in, and a guy with 2-7 could beat you if the cards show up 2-2-2-2-7, right? Like whatever, you get the point. But you can see here for Boston, her line is 15 on underdog and parlay play. Prize Picks has her line at 14 and a half. The sports books have her line at 14 and a half. Some sports books even have her line at 13 and a half. So it seems like there's some value on the under, right? So we can continue to go through. So this play is weird, right? So like this is another one. And again, like, just an example. So you can see Kia Nurse. What an interesting name. On the sportsbook screen, right? This just shows you raw data. So the EV tool, again, is comparing prices, right? Where are books setting the line at the same level? What this screen tool allows you to do, sportsbook screen, is see where books have the line set at different levels. Again, these books can do whatever they want. So sometimes they have their line set at different levels as well as their odds set at different levels. But essentially, like the concept is pretty simple, right? If you look up, the price of Facebook stock in the stock market, right? There's like tons of really smart people, hedge funds, whatever. trading firms, your brother, like you can buy Facebook. This stock price is based on supply and demand. If every hedge fund and every person wakes up tomorrow and wants to own more Facebook and they want to buy it, right? They think the company's more valuable than its market cap of $694 billion, they'll buy it and the price goes up. So like, basically like this is fair price of the stock. This is like what the price of Facebook is right now. And like it may be different tomorrow if, Mark Zuckerberg dies. Hopefully he doesn't. I mean, I'm not trying to sound gruesome, but like obviously like if he dies, like the price will probably be lower tomorrow. The market is reacting to new information. But, basically the concept of OddsJam is just like, if your brother, was like, yo, I'll sell you Facebook stock for $200. It's like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. This is the price it's trading in the market based on the beliefs of everyone else in the world who can buy and sell Facebook. This is the spot where supply and demand is equal. Getting to buy Facebook at $200 is a no-brainer. Kind of like the same thing for EV betting is you have numerous data points telling you where a line should be set. Stop trying to outsmart the sports books and more let the sports books outsmart each other. But anyways, let's continue to go through because we got some good plays on. So you can see, right? Like PrizePicks has Kia Nurse's line higher. Betano has her line at 9.5 with the over favored at -154. Bet365 has her line at 9.5 as well. So it seems like, pretty good value there. So we need one more play on underdog to round out this entry. So we can go to player points plus rebound plus assists, or we could check out the NBA. I mean, I don't really care. I've explained before, like, who cares? You're betting on the WNBA, MLB. You can see there's a lot of value on parlay play. So here's one. Again, you just kind of have less data points. But this is an example of a play that seems decent. Right? So like Chelsea Gray, right? Her line is higher at 25 on PrizePicks, and it's at 25.5 on parlay play. So a little higher. So maybe that's a play you want to go with, right? But again, like it's just a little more loosey-goosey because if you look at the WNBA compared to, we'll switch over to the NBA here in a second, but a lot more sports books post lines on the NBA as opposed to the WNBA. So, for example, so this play seems good. Jordan, Canada. I think we used this play earlier, but whatever. PrizePicks wants to keep screwing it up. Let's let them keep screwing it up. So we have a Taco Tuesday as well. So we want to go to player points plus rebounds plus assists. So we want to take her under 20 PRAs, right, for Taco Tuesday. And then we can go back here to the sportsbook screen, right? Like underdog, parlay play, have her line lower at 19.5. Bet365 is at 18.5, even lower than that. That seems pretty good. But what was I trying to say? It's like in the NBA, you just have more data points, right? So like if you go to the NBA, let's go to the NBA. And we look up like, player rebounds plus assists or something, player points plus rebounds plus assists. For the WNBA, you only have a few sports books. For the NBA, like, right, there's a lot more. Jimmy Butler over 39 PRAs, right? Sportsbooks have his line at underdog. Seems decent. Jimmy Butler's PRA line is 39 on PrizePicks. It's 39.5 everywhere else. Seems decent, right? Ooh. Here's an interesting one. Kyle Lowry under 15.5 PRAs. PrizePicks underdog have his line at 14.5. So, but anyways, maybe let's go back here to the fantasy optimizer. We can refresh this and we can see what's out there, right? So we can go here and we can see what's out there. What do we want to go with? So this Michael Porter over 4 first quarter points. But regardless, what we can do is we can also go to the EV tool. I kind of like just like, so there are some plays on No House Advantage. We have some plays lined up on PrizePicks. But ideally, we can find a play on underdog fantasy to kind of round out our entry. Maybe. So there was earlier a play on Porter points plus rebound. So let's see if that's still available. Sometimes sportsbooks are just asleep and they leave a play available for a while. Sometimes it's much shorter. So here it's like interesting discrepancies for Gabe Vincent, right? NHA has his line. Well, they had his line. They just locked it, but at 16.5. Where's Porter, though? I think we were looking at Porter. So Porter now, I think, where did we get him earlier? So if we go to prize picks, we have 2. We need 3 more. So we had Porter under 22.5 points plus rebounds. Good value there. They moved his line down to 21.5. Just how it is sometimes. So what do we want to go with? What can we take? That seems decent. So Clark Schmidt under 6 strikeouts. So what this line differences tab does is essentially like it just approximates when sportsbooks have the line set at different levels, how good a play is, right? So this play looks incredible on Underdog Fantasy. Clark Schmidt under 6 strikeouts. We could also take all WNBA, but maybe whatever, right? We can go with this. So I'm going to lock this in. If anyone wants to tail, bet it now. Underdog Fantasy, they remove things real quick after I seem to bet it. So this is what I'm going to go with. It's 6 p.m. Happy 6 p.m. And you can see we're on Elia Boston under 15 points, Kia Nurse over 9 points, and Clark Schmidt under 6 strikeouts. Nothing super complicated, but again, this like show line differences tab, it just kind of approximates, right? So this is if you don't want to see line differences in the approximation. And basically that just comes from like it's nothing complicated. Again, everything on OddsJam just based in data. So if you go here to the Twins game and you go to pitcher props, right? It's like sportsbooks have, these alternate line tabs. So you can see here, like whatever, Varland 5+ strikeouts is -196. His 6+ strikeouts is +112. So you can get a sense of like, okay, like each strikeout moves the line by like 100 cents. Which is essentially what the show line differences tab does. But anyways, I'm going to lock this in. If anyone wants to tail, go ahead, take advantage of this. Elia Boston under 15 points, Kia Nurse over 9, and Clark Schmidt under 6 strikeouts. So WNBA, kind of interesting, only 12 teams, lower than expected. So 6x payout. Again, on prize picks, you only get a 5x payout for these entries. And then speaking of prize picks, we got to find some plays. We got to find some plays for Taco Tuesday. So you can see, like, here's an example of the line differences tab, right? It's picking up this Taco Tuesday play, right? It's saying, yo, bet this, right? Which is unsurprising. All the sports books have Cock Cooper's line at like 16.5, whatever. So it's recommending, yeah, you should probably bet her over 14 for Taco Tuesday, which is obvious, right? Like nothing shocking that you should take advantage of the Taco Tuesdays. You're literally getting 17 off, a discount versus the rest of the market. Again, like, okay, I'm going to lock this in. And you'll see, like, if you look at Underdog, they're going to move these picks quick. I don't like me, but we'll go ahead. We'll lock this in. Nice. Man, the women have nice smiles. The males don't. But anyways, what we can do is we can go ahead and we can take a look at what else is out there. FanDuel Boost is like 18% EV. I could never bet like you. Yeah, but I mean, like if you look at, there's always some player who's performing hot, some player who's performing cold. And at the end of the day, like it doesn't work, right? Like, I mean, results speak for themselves, right? Like if Facebook has gone up 6 days in a row, it doesn't matter, right? Like the price is the price. It's equally likely basically to go up or down tomorrow, right? And it's the same thing. Like people always say that. I mean, with Looney starting in Lakers Warriors, taking a Looney under. It was like, did you not see he had 18 rebounds last game? It's like, bro, his over under is not going to be set at over under 17 and a half boards because he had 18 rebounds one game. It has to be set somewhere. So, like, it's all about just kind of following the data. So we can see here we got another play on Clark Schmidt, or I think we already bet that under 17 and a half outs. So you can see some NBA, whatever. And again, you may use different sports books. Like I've explained before, 194, something like that, sports books on OddsJam. And like all these books have different lines, right? So, you may have different plays available. So we got Clark Schmidt, right? We got him under 6 strikeouts, right? Prize Picks has his line at 5.5, and OddsJam is still recommending that play. So obviously getting under 6 is pretty crazy value, which is exactly what we got on Underdog Fantasy. So hopefully you guys tailed this. What is this? This pick won't be scored live. That's fine. I got Google. But what we can do is we can just like, okay, we can kind of try to figure out what do we want to go with for our Prize Picks Taco Tuesday. And again, like this is something we definitely have to play. Like, you don't got to bet on Prize Picks every day, but when they're running a pretty profitable promo, like probably makes sense to find some bets on Prize Picks. But anyways, what we can do is we can go back to the WNBA. We can take a look at like, player points plus rebounds. And again, like, there's a time component to everything. And by time component, I mean like, like you want to place a lot of bets. You can't think about every bet for 3 hours or, so we can take a look, see if there's anything out there. So there's a lot of plays on Parlay Play, right? So this play looks good on Parlay Play. They have Jewel Lloyd's line at 30.5 points plus assists. Prize Picks and Underdog are lower at 30. Betano's a full point lower at 29.5. It's like, yeah, I mean, that seems pretty good. So we can take a look at player points plus rebounds. Man, long day. I'm excited for the NBA Finals, though. So, like, here's another play. Absolute no-brainer. Parlay Play, again, like, you may not have heard of the platform, but the reason to sign up is they offer you an $105 sign-up bonus. Again, you can check out this, like, beautiful little presentation I put together. I said move quick. But anyways, what I will do is I will share the spreadsheet. So, like, there's a lot of value on Parlay Play, which is the only reason you should need to sign up, right? They have a list of time. It's like no one works at this company. Like they're always off from the rest of the market. So you can see for Alyssa Thomas, and you can search a player, whatever. But Parlay Play has her line at 25.5. Prize Picks, Underdog, all the sports books. Betano actually has her over favored, right? So like on Parlay Play, they offer really good payouts. They offer better payouts than Prize Picks for 5-pick entries. Basically for everything, they offer better payouts than Prize Picks. So you only have to win, you only need to win above, slightly over 50%, like 53.2% of your picks to be profitable on this platform. But anyways, we got to get moving on this Prize Picks Taco Tuesday. So let me go ahead and let me do that. Let's try to get this Prize Picks Taco Tuesday done. So we can take a look, right? And obviously this Prize Picks promo, it's super profitable. Definitely recommend betting it, obviously. But what we can do is we can check out points plus rebounds. Doesn't really look like there's anything. Points plus assists. Like, again, all these tools do slightly different things. EV tool compares lines set at the same level, right? So like over under 4.5 total goals, whatever. Like you can see here, it's comparing where our books, so like this is a play on Hot Streak. That was a platform. That platform's on here. They actually offer a $200 sign-up bonus. So most books like Prize Picks, they only offer a $100 sign-up bonus. Hot Streak, it's 200. 200 better than 100. But and I've explained before, like really easy way to grow your bankroll is just understanding these sports books, their sign-up bonuses, stuff like that. And by that I mean like you look at FanDuel, right? They offer you this, a $2,500 risk-free bet. If you don't win your first bet, they give you 2.5K back in bonus bets. To a lot of people, this is confusing. It's like, there's like a lot of terms, kind of confusing, whatever. But if you know what you're doing, right, this is worth easily $1,000 cash. Like, if you haven't done this or you haven't signed up for FanDuel, I would give you $1,000 cash to take this promo from you and put it in my account. And you just have to understand the strategy, right? And we have a bunch of videos. Again, if you search up like risk-free bets odds jam on YouTube, breaking down like how do you turn this into cash? This is worth at least $1,000 profit if you know what you're doing. So again, like you just have to put in a little bit of work to understand the strategy and make the money. But what we can do is we can go back here and it's like, okay, like a lot of plays on the EV tool. That's cool. So what we can do is we can like go back to the sports books I use. Don't really care what sports books you use. Pull up the ones I'm trying to make money on. And we can pull up Fliff. What is this play? This play looks really good. I bet it earlier, so I'm not going to be able to rebet it. Tennis play, whatever. But let's continue. We got to get to moving on prize picks. So Hayden Lekensky under 4 strikeouts. I'm not going to take Clark Schmidt under 5.5 because I just bet him under 6 on Underdog Fantasy, which is obviously better than under 5.5. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to MLB strikeouts. And then we can check out, just try to find a little bit of value, a little bit of an edge on prize picks. Nothing, no major discrepancies, whatever. So we can go back to player points plus rebounds plus assists. Sometimes there's good value here. And again, like lines are always moving. We've explained that before. But here's one. Kelsey Plum over 20. Did I already add this? I'm trying to remember. No, we didn't. So this is perfect. So we can go here to WNBA, your new favorite sport. And we can take Kelsey Plum over 22.5 points plus rebounds plus assists, right? It's pretty simple. Why do we like it? Prize or underdog and parlay play have the line at 23.5. Don't overthink it too much. Once you understand the data, like it really is about getting volume down. It's just like if you're a good poker player, right? Like you can't spend 10 hours thinking about every hand. Like you got to go and you got to play, right? And you got to accept the fact that sometimes you may lose a little bit of money. But so that seems decent. And then what else do we like? What pairs well? So Courtney Williams, I mean, this pairs a little well. So she's on Chicago, right? She's a guard. So she kind of like competes in a way with Ka Cooper for points, right? So I kind of like this, right? Taking her under because for Taco Tuesday, we're getting Ka's over. And again, like there's this, the word for this is called correlation, but it's not super complicated, right? Like this slip, for example, just as an example, this would make 0 sense, right? Like should be pretty clear, but just as an example, if you took, a bunch of players from the Nuggets all to go over their PRA line, it's like they can't all score, have assists, and have rebounds on every possession. It doesn't make sense typically to take overs from the same team for the same stat line. You want to take over and under, right? Like take Jimmy's over, Bam's under. That's called correlation. So anyways, here's what I'm going to go with for Taco Tuesday. A little bit of good correlation between Ka Cooper and Courtney Williams. Nice. So we got some WNBA, we got some MLB. The night is young, 6 p.m., 6:13 p.m., and we can kind of continue looking through. So, and if anyone has any questions, how do you get Fluff on your PC? You can just, did I bet the wrong gray? No. Wait, what? I don't have a bet on a gray. So this looks correct. But, so Fliff has a web app. You can just download it. Yeah, exactly. I took Cooper's under 6.5 rebounds. Okay. So we got a lot of people, with cool comments and stuff like that. But we can open up this. Again, any new plays? Who knows? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. James Paxton, under 5.5 strikeouts. And some people like to set thresholds. Oh, I'll only bet, things above 1% profit margin. I'll only bet things above 2% profit margin. And you can do that if you want to. Again, whatever. Like, ooh. So this play I like on Jordan Canada. 20 on Prize Picks, 19.5 on the Sportsbooks, 18.5 on Bet365. It would be cool if I could use parlay play, but I can't, which is a little annoying. But we can go here to no house advantage. So this is interesting too. Jokic over 1-3. So honestly, I don't hate it. This guy, I mean, maybe it's not bad. Player made threes. So if we go to Jokic, so you can kind of see here, it's like, okay, all the sports books have his line at 1.5 with the under favored. But again, the jump from 1 to 2 is massive, right? Like in terms of the odds. I mean, we kind of showed this on FanDuel before these NBA games, right? Like player threes. I mean, if you just look at it, right? Like 1+3, so over half of a three, Jokic is minus 450. 2+3s, Jokic is plus 120, right? So like 1-3 is a massive swing in the odds, which means half a three is a massive swing in the odds, right? So these I actually kind of like. Jokic over 1-3. But what's annoying about this platform, no house advantage, is a lot of things. But one thing in particular that's a little frustrating is you can't pair bets from different days. So if you want to bet on, let's say, the MLB tonight, but you also want to add in a pick for the NBA finals tomorrow, they don't let you bet it. But, I kind of like this. So we can take over here. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find enough picks. This is, obviously for the MLB. So that's tonight. So I'm not going to be able to include it. I'm sure there's some value out there. I'll be able to find some plays if I look hard enough, but maybe we go back to Prize Picks. Or Prize Picks, I think they have one more taco that they'll drop here in a bit. I'm not sure, though. So you can see this Hot Streak platform actually has pretty good value. So this would be, again, on Hot Streak, you can go back to this little like guide thing. Doesn't matter how many picks you select. They give you a $200 sign-up bonus. Take the free $200. I've had issues like depositing in this platform, but regardless, if you take a look here, right, Hot Streak, you just want to pair these two bets. Gaussman over 6.5 Ks, Kevin Love over 5.5 rebounds plus assists. That would be a really good, play to go with on Hot Streak. So you just want to take the EV plays together. I mean, these are slightly good, right? Like positive EV, so positive ROI. But like you don't want to take the plays in red. So yellow are kind of like marginal, right? Like less than 1% profit margin, whatever. So these plays you could pair in a 2-pick entry, or if you wanted to be ballsy, you could take all 5 of these picks, right, in a 5-pick entry, or you could mix and match, right? But like obviously this play on Kevin Love looks incredible. So if we go back to Hot Streak, they're giving you Kevin Love over 5.5 rebounds plus assists at minus 101 odds. You look at the sports books, they have this at minus 135. So this is just a slightly different layout on this like fantasy optimizer thing. And it, again, like these are technically DFS sites. A lot of people think Prize Picks is a sports book. It's not, right? Like it works very different than a sports book if you think about it, because like you look at Prize Picks, first of all, there's no odds, right? Like the first thing you see when you go to FanDuel is a bunch of numbers, right? Odds. Prize Picks doesn't have odds. They make you back out what are the odds kind of thing. Second, on Prize Picks, you can't just play one player, right? I can't just bet on Candace Parker to go over or under. You need at least 2 picks. Whereas on a sports book, you can obviously just bet on Jokic 2+3s if you want to. You don't need a certain minimum number of picks on the sports books. But what we can do is we can go back here and refresh this or whatever. So who knows? You can see there's some plays available. We've already bet most of them. So maybe we call this video a day for now. You can see there's a lot of plays on parlay. Oh my gosh. Of course, when I'm out of, a state with this legal, there's tons of plays on parlay play. I feel great about that. But you can take a screenshot if you use parlay play. You got to follow the value as a sports bettor, right? Just like if there's one bar that has cheaper drinks and it's more fun, you're going to go to that bar as opposed to the boring bar, right? Like you want to follow the value as a sports bettor. Pretty simple. So you can see there's a lot of plays on parlay play. How about Boom Fantasy? I haven't signed up for them yet. And the reason is nothing profitable really on this platform ever. It's same thing with Sleeper. Sleeper, it's hard to find good plays. You can see there's whatever 0.1% profit margin play right now, but like pretty low. So again, but they do have profitable promos. They have a sign up bonus, so I was able to take advantage of that. But in general, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream. Maybe I'll go live here in a bit. Kind of want to make some nachos, so I'm going to do that. And hopefully some of our bets we locked in, if you tailed them, hopefully they win. As always, you can email me any questions, So I've never used Hot Streak at all. Stay live. So I may go live here in a bit. I mean, I'm not sure when does the next taco start. So 38 minutes? No, I'm not going to stay 38 minutes. I need to make some nachos. So I'm going to make some nachos. I'll start another live stream here in a bit. Oh no, 8 minutes. The next taco starts in 8 minutes. So perfect. I'll make some nachos. I'll go live once again. And any questions you have, as always, if I didn't get to them in the live stream, Sleeper did a lot. Man, so let's check out Sleeper. What is Sleeper doing? So let me reload this. We can take a look. What's the promo on Sleeper? I don't see any promo. So if I go over to Sleeper, what you can do is, nope, not that. So we can go here to the NBA. Oh, so it looks like, so this is interesting. Mitch Keller, they're running a promo, right? So again, Sleeper. So you can go to this little spreadsheet. Again, says how many plays are optimal. They're offering a $100 sign-up bonus, promo code OddsJam. So nice call out on this flash sale. So it's like, okay. So if we go to MLB and then we go to player strikeouts, man, I'm tired. So we go to player strikeouts. Let's make money. So if we go to player strikeouts, we can see how is this? Mitch Keller over four. What is the promo? Oh, I can't even see what is the pick I'm betting. So Mitch Keller. So I want to remove this on Jokic. Oh, over under 4.5 strikeouts. So how do I remove this play on Jokic? So where is Keller's line on other sports books? It's at 7.5. So this promo on Sleeper is obviously a no-brainer. So what we can do is we can be like, okay, let's remove this play on Jokic, because on Sleeper, again, you need at least 2 sports books, right? Another reason historical data is useless is it should make a lot of sense to you. If the sports book is showing you the last 5 games, historical data is useless, right? If the data was useful, they wouldn't show you. Sleeper doesn't show you where books are offering better prices and stuff like that because it's useless. But if you go ahead and you pull up Sleeper here, again, this play's not super profitable. James Caprillion under 16.5 outs, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because we just need 2 picks to go with on Sleeper. So we can move quick because I don't want this line to move. So we want to take Keller, obviously, over, and then we want to take James Caprillion under 16.5 outs, right? And then we have 2 plays, right? So we can go with parlay play. We're getting a 3.40x payout. How much do they let me bet? Maximum entry amount is just $20. So I didn't even realize they did these flash sales. Good call out, whoever found that. And I'll hit this, right? So I basically just bet on Sleeper when there's profitable promos. I mean, I initially signed up. I deposited $100. They were running their sign-up bonus. Deposit 100, you get $100 for free. I need a beer. Your pick involving Mitch Keller is expired. Bro, how is this expired? You just said you were running a promo. But what I was going to say is I just deposited $100 into Sleeper. Is it expired for anyone else? Sell valid for one-time contest up to $20. Perfect. I'm betting this for $20, one-time contest. What I was going to say is like Sleeper, I don't find a lot of profitable bets on this platform in general, but I'm just taking advantage of their bonuses, right? Pretty easy way to just build your bankroll. That's super annoying. So it's saying it's expired, at least for me. And it says ending in, 39 minutes. So what I can try doing is just restarting it, and maybe this will work. Mm, okay. And if this doesn't work, I don't know. Like, hopefully you guys were able to bet it. And again, like this play on Caprillion, it's not amazing, but it doesn't really matter, right? I'm just trying to get this play down. So it's saying this pick is expired. I don't know. Was anyone else able to bet it? Um, yeah. So, anyways, I'm not able to bet this right now. If someone's able to bet it, we'll do it on the next live stream. I'll try to go live for the next taco here in like 10 minutes. I'm just gonna get some food. And yeah, let's make some money.